Welcome to today's Explainer. We're about to walk through a deeply tragic timeline, stemming from a first-hand account of a family's absolute destruction, and we're going to experience this entirely through the eyes of the surviving daughter. We'll focus on the pure, unimaginable emotional anguish she endured as her entire reality crumbled piece by piece. So brace yourselves, we are embarking on a devastating journey of cognitive dissonance, unimaginable grief, and a betrayal so profound it honestly defies basic human understanding. Just imagine sitting down with your mom, the woman who sacrificed absolutely everything to build your family, and hearing these exact words. "My love, forgive me for what I am going to tell you, but I think your father's mistress is your sister." That is the heart-stopping hook of this entire nightmare. I want you to instantly put yourself in the shoes of this daughter and feel that cognitive dissonance. It's the kind of statement your brain literally just refuses to process. Like, how do you even begin to reconcile those words with the people you've known and trusted your entire life? Okay, let's dive into this, because an explosion like this doesn't just happen overnight, right? It starts with these tiny, agonizing seeds of doubt. In those early days, the mother was the only one who suspected something was off, and the psychological manipulation she endured was just brutal. The mother was finding lipstick on her husband's shirts, she was pulling long hairs off of his sweaters, she was crying these tears of pure desperation, feeling her marriage just slipping away. And the excuses they gave her? The father and sister systematically broke her down. They claimed the stains were just dirt from the bus. When a sweater was covered in long hair, the sister would just casually lie saying, "Oh, we met up downtown and he let me borrow his sweater because it was cold." They called the mother toxic, they called her paranoid. And the surviving daughter is stuck right in the middle of all this, feeling this immense emotional turmoil, trying to comfort her sobbing mother while simultaneously fighting with her sister for being so unbelievably cruel. Eventually, the tension just completely boils over. The father declares he can't take the mother's constant complaining anymore, and he moves out. But here's the bizarre twist. The sister actively supports the father, completely alienates the mother, and actually moves in with him. They get an apartment together, they furnish it entirely to the sister's taste, and the walls covered in photos of just the two of them. The surviving daughter remembers visiting this incredibly strange living situation with just so much confusion. But, she rationalized it. She thought, well, they're father and daughter. Of course she's supporting him. But looking back, she was the only outside woman who ever set foot in that apartment. The isolation of their secret life was already complete.
The mother had even hired a private investigator at one point, but he found nothing, mainly because the father literally only went from work to the apartment he shared with the sister. But we're reaching a psychological breaking point here. This is the moment the mother finally voices her darkest, most unspeakable fear to her loyal daughter.
And I want you to really empathize with the daughter's reaction here, because it is so raw and so defensive. She yells at her mom, "What is wrong with you? She is my sister. He is my father. You have lost your mom. You need professional help." Imagine the sheer impossibility of accepting that the two family members you trust most are betraying you in this specific way. She was furious. She defended her dad. She told her mom the accusations were unforgivable. But as the daughter points out, words have power, and a tiny seed of doubt had been firmly planted in her mind.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how that seed of doubt turns into a frantic, completely solo pursuit of the truth. The father and sister plan a father-daughter trip. The surviving daughter begs to go. She just wants to be part of the family, but the father flat out refuses. So she takes matters into her own hands. She secretly buys a ticket to the exact same little beach town. She spends 3 grueling days hiding on the beach, scanning the crowds, just waiting. Finally, she tracks down a photo her sister posts from a local restaurant. She rushes over, finds them, and secretly follows them right back to their resort.
The tension here is just absolutely suffocating. The daughter's desperate investigation is about to reach its horrifying climax right there in the hallway of the hotel. She's watching from a distance, right? And the shocking sensory anchor of this moment is burned into her memory forever. She sees her father and her sister walking down the hallway holding hands exactly like a romantic couple. And as the elevator doors close, she sees them lean in for a kiss. Reality shatters. A wave of pure anguish washes over her. But she thinks incredibly fast. She checks the elevator floor, runs to the front desk, flashes her medical ID, and fakes a severe family medical emergency. She tells them her father has a heart condition and convinces the hotel staff to escort her directly up to their room. The door opens. Her sister is standing there in a swimsuit. The lie is over. The daughter bursts into the room. Pure, explosive rage takes over. She physically attacks her sister. The emotional destruction in this room is absolute. The father is crying. He's begging for forgiveness. He tells her they simply confused their feelings. He says they suddenly fell in love and didn't know how it happened. It's a pathetic, devastating excuse. The daughter just screams at them. She demands to know how they could mock her mother like this, how they could let her mother think she was going insane. She walks out of that hotel room with her heart completely in pieces.
And now, the story moves into the deeply devastating aftermath of that confrontation. The daughter returns home, and she has to confirm her mother's absolute worst nightmare. Yes, they are a couple.
The mother is absolutely destroyed. She cries out that she simply cannot survive this. And even though the daughter gets her professional help, the profound betrayal is just too heavy a weight to carry. Feeling like she had completely failed as both a mother and a wife, the mother takes a massive, fatal overdose of pills. She chooses death to escape the agonizing pain. And in doing so, she leaves behind this permanent, echoing emotional void for the loyal daughter who tried so incredibly hard to save her.
But the mother didn't leave without having the final word. She left behind a suicide note, meant strictly for the surviving daughter's eyes only, and this note contains a staggering, unthinkable twist. Let's move to and see how this builds, because this revelation completely recontextualizes the entire betrayal. The timeline of this lie is truly astounding. The mother's note reveals that, before she even met the father, she was already pregnant with the older sister. The father knew from day one that the sister was not biologically his. But the sister, she grew up her entire life believing they were blood relatives. The mother writes that she could have forgiven him for cheating on her with anyone else, but choosing the little girl he raised as his own daughter was a perversion she simply couldn't live with. The mother revealed this dark truth so the surviving daughter would understand the true, horrifying scale of what happened.
Armed with this explosive truth, the surviving daughter screams the secret right into her sister's face. He isn't your father, but you're still disgusting because he raised you. And the contrast in their reactions is chilling. For the sister, the sudden revelation that they aren't blood relatives instantly breaks the forbidden fantasy. It breaks the twisted spell. She immediately dumps the father. She moves on with her life as if nothing happened, chillingly cold, and doesn't even shed a tear or show up to the mother's funeral. The father, however, is left utterly, pathetically alone. His wife is dead, his mistress abandoned him, and he is reduced to crying and begging the surviving daughter to teach him how to live again without hurting anyone. The daughter flat out refuses.
So we have to bring the focus entirely back to the agonizing, emotional reality of the surviving daughter. She's the last one left standing to survey the absolute wreckage of her home. 3. That is the number of family members this daughter lost in a single, brutal timeline. As she explains it, the day she caught her father and sister in the hotel, she lost 2 people to a perverse betrayal, and the day her mother took her own life, she lost the third to an unbearable grief. She is left completely alone, holding on to the memories of a family that essentially destroyed itself from the inside out. Which leaves us with a haunting question. When the people supposed to protect you are the ones deceiving you, when betrayal destroys absolutely every pillar of a family, how does the last person standing learn to rebuild their world? It's a tragedy that offers no easy answers, just the raw reality of human frailty. Thank you for joining me for this explainer. It really is a testament to the immense emotional resilience required when the unimaginable becomes reality.